Welcome to the Kindness Project, the podcast designed to share stories of kindness and share how kindness can make positive change in our world, one small act at a time.
On this week's episode of the Kindness Project, we talk about Spiderman, emotions, and we have part 3 of our interview with Robert Peterpaul from the Art of Kindness podcast.
Good evening, afternoon, morning, whenever you're listening to this. It's Chris Dames here from the Kindness Project. I am joined by a girl who reminds me of the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. It's Charlotte Dames. And a man who, most appropriately, is definitely the Green Goblin of the podcast. It's Russell. How you doing, Russ?
Oh, what are you saying about Archie?
Rain in a minute.
Can we just talk about, I don't want to give away the spoilers, and I don't think I am, but can we just talk about our amazing Spider-Man into
I had to watch that recap video.
Sorry, I just said Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. It wasn't.
No.
Spider-Man Far From Home.
We watched that almost a month ago now.
Yeah, but we haven't talked about it in the podcast yet, have we? No. So I was generally amazed about how brilliant it was. I laughed, I cried.
Fell asleep at one point.
I didn't fall asleep. This is the true test of cinema for me. If I actually stay awake throughout the film, particularly a long one, I know that it's gripped me, and I didn't fall asleep. What I did do is turn around at one point, and Charlotte looked at me really worried and went, "I've got to go to the toilet," and realised that she was just Russ was just nodding, yes, yeah.
I agree with the sentiment.
Yeah.
If I have that trouble, all I have to do is press the pause button. But because you're going out to watch it live, then...
But you know what? And this is the thing, right? I like on-demand content. It's not like on-demand content is absolutely brilliant, but the reality is, actually, and particularly in this film, I wouldn't worry about it for every single film, but particularly in this film, the cinema was probably 50-60% full, right? There was an atmosphere in there, wasn't there? There was an atmosphere, and the fact that there was an atmosphere, and the fact that other people were going on the journey.
Was that actually, as Charlotte said, she had to pay? That was everybody gasping at the fault of why you're sitting in the toilet. You're wondering what you're missing.
Exactly. But yeah, there was laughs, there was crying. There was. This isn't Charlotte waiting to go pee, by the way. There was laughs.
No, I just left. I just went. I legged it.
There was laughs. There was crying. There was gasps. There was a pause at some points, wasn't there? And I think actually, live cinema, like live theatre, can be quite a communal experience. What do you think?
I don't go to live theatre. It's 2 reasons why. I get bored. But I can't.
Sorry.
I can't remember the last time I sat through a whole movie.
Well, you've personally offended my sensibilities, so...
I'm even looking online. I just don't find it interesting at all.
What film can you watch all the way through?
But tell you what, I watched American Gangster the other day, and I watched most of it before I got distracted.
I actually understand. I just get distracted at every little thing.
That is a future introduction waiting to happen. Russell Dames, a man who's watched most of a film. Have you never watched all of a film?
But I'm probably not for a long time. The last time I went to a cinema to see a movie, I come out of there crying. I don't know if you remember, you took me to see My Girl in the cinema back in the 90s.
No.
We went to Barking Cinema.
Barking Cinema was near Nando's. That's how long ago it was.
I come out there halfway through. You had to bring me out there. When he gets stung by the bees and died, I broke down in tears.
I don't even...
Because of the bees?
Yeah, because he died.
Oh. Okay.
Or did he die of bees?
Four times I went to see that movie. Every time
Did he-
I cried.
Did he die because of the bees?
Yeah, the bees stung him, didn't they?
That's
Never
true.
heard of my
I can feel myself welling up thinking about it.
All right, Russ. I don't think I've ever seen Markel. I don't remember ever seeing Markel.
Yeah, we went to the cinema.
I don't
Me,
even
you and
remember
Kate.
that experience.
Yeah, me, you and Kay.
A little siblings outing.
Oh, we used to go all the time, didn't we?
We wasn't allowed to embark in without Chrissy. We wasn't allowed to go down there.
Especially since Russell turned it into a live action event and brought his own bees in. Right, I'll tell you what. Do you remember that time you kicked that wasp's nest?
I didn't kick.
Yes, you did. You kicked a wasp's nest.
No, I didn't kick the nest. It was in the ground over on the field, Mayfield Field. I pulled the stick out.
Well, you don't pull a stick out of a wasp's nest.
Fire. Two come out, so I poked the stick back in.
Like it was
And then
gonna
it
clap
was just, I remember running, and I remember him chasing me. I'm doing zigzags thinking they won't.
Literally, right. He was
I'm
probably
doing
so
zigzags thinking they
He was
wouldn't
probably-
realise.
He was probably about 10. He just come and go, ouch, 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 ouch. Just followed by this cloud of wasps.
Do you remember
Like,
the
what did you
zigzag?
do? Just pulled the stick out, didn't I?
You know what they say about when you're being shot at, do zigzags. That's exactly what I was doing, in and out, in and out.
Right. So let me ask you a question. Did you cry more when you were attacked by wasps?
No,
Or did you cry more when you had to leave Michael halfway through because somebody else on the screen got stung by a bee?
and died.
I think it was my girl, to be honest.
Michael.
Good for you, Russ. Good for
Okay.
you.
Oddly
Alright.
enough,
I mean, look,
I
no,
was
genuinely, hold on, let me make my point. Genuinely, I don't think there's anything wrong with getting quite emotional, right?
I don't get emotional now.
So you know, we've talked about in the podcast before. First 10 minutes of Up, for me,
You even play the music, it just goes.
definitely emotional. What was
You
I watching?
what?
Never seen it. Never seen that.
Cobra Kai, my guilty pleasure I was talking about last week.
Oh.
I didn't cry. It made me laugh quite a lot because it is super cheesy. But the last
Don't
show,
spoil it, I'm going to watch it.
the last episode of season 4, which I've literally finished over the weekend, made me actually get super excited about the finale. So all of that sort of stuff. I think, you know, if a piece of content isn't helping you feel something, then what's the point of it?
I said
Do you know
this.
what I mean?
I said this to someone the other day. Like, if you're going to tell a story, you should never apologize for making people upset by telling the story. Because by making people feel things when you're telling the story, you know you've told a good story.
I think it depends whether it's gratuitous or not, right?
I don't know what
So,
the words mean.
like, if it serves the purpose of the story, great. But if it's just like thrown in there to shock or scare, I'm just, I don't know if I'd have the same emotional reaction.
Talking of quality animation, though, one movie I did see it all the way through, and I could probably do again. Flushed Away. Really enjoyed that movie.
No, Russ, Charlotte's laughing.
Really
Charlotte's
enjoyed
That
that
wasn't a
movie.
quality movie.
No, I enjoyed Flush.
That was a rat wrapped in a sewer.
I really enjoyed that movie.
I enjoyed it for the comedy.
That is an Aardman animation movie. You think about the best story.
Wensleydale.
Not even Wensleydale Wallace or Gromit. But yeah, they are the probably supreme movie animators in the UK, aren't they?
Yeah,
I love it. But we actually went to Ardman Land, which is at Land's End at the the most southern part of Cornwall. They've got a little Ardman museum down there. Well, you just had a little sing song. Wow.
Yeah.
Halfway through. Anyway, on that note,
It was on my brain.
I've got the question of the podcast, and that came from me thinking about today, actually, what I'd like to do. And as you know, listeners, if you've been listening to us now for 4 years, I like to set myself a little challenge every now and again. I've got a swim in 2022. I'm hopefully doing a 2-mile swim in the Serpentine Lake in Hyde Park in London. But I do like learning new things, setting myself new challenges, and seeing what else I can accomplish. And my big one, and funny enough, I tried to book some piano lessons the other week, is to learn to play the piano. So my question of the podcast to you, dear listener, is what skill, technique, sort of qualification do you want to get in 22? What skill would you love to learn?
I mean, mine's got to be obvious, right?
Well,
if it's qualifications we're talking about, I'd like to get through my A levels, please.
But how about the qualification? I'd like to get through my A levels, please. Why are you asking the listeners' permissions?
I don't think there's.
If you're the examiner with my A levels, can I get through, please? But yeah, what about a skill that you'd love to learn that's not academic?
I'd love to say languages, but I really struggle with languages, so it wouldn't be that, because I just don't find it fun, and I feel like if it's not academic, if you don't find it fun, just like at this point, what's the point?
But then I suppose an element of it is whatever you choose to do, there's going to be that bit at the start that isn't fun because it's a challenge, because it won't come naturally. I mean, it's, like anything, it takes work. How about you, Russ? What have you got on your list?
Well, I'm doing a couple of things at the moment. As you know, I'm losing weight. I aim to lose 7 stone off my body mass. I'm 2 weeks into quitting smoking. Essential for me, knowing the way our mum went and what caused that is essential for me to.
What we're talking about, Russ, is learning a new skill.
Yeah.
So what skill would you want to learn?
So in terms of...
Not putting a fag in your mouth doesn't count as a new skill, just so you know.
In terms of skill building, I thought this was New Year's resolutions.
No.
So
the question is clear. What skill would you want to learn?
So I want to learn to communicate better. I'm not good with people. I'm not good with...
Yeah, we know, Ross. It's okay.
Well, I mean, as our editor-in-chief, that's a skill we'd love to learn.
And, you handle basically the majority of our social media, so...
Exactly. So, yeah, good with people.
I'm good with people behind the screen. I'm not good in person with people.
So you want to... what you'd like to do is improve your face-to-face social communication.
Yeah, I'd like to be more comfortable around people.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable in company.
Yeah, so be improving social skills is probably the way to go. Yeah, no, I like that one. That's really good. And what we'd like to do, listeners, is hear from you. What skills are you looking to learn in 2022? And you can get in touch with us using the following methods.
On my shoulders again?
On your shoulders.
Again?
Yeah.
No, I got it. Do you know it? Do you know it?
Yeah. On the Facebook, just put in the Kindness Project. In Google, just put in the Kindness Project. On Twitter, @HolaKindness, HOLAKINDNESS. What do you mean, no?
Holla.
H with a H. Holla. On Instagram, Google Russell Daines is the big boss man, and it should come up. What else are we on? Friends Reunited. Just look for us. and reunite him with his
On
friends.
all the social media platforms, we're at Holler Kindness. And on Google, we're the Kindness Project Podcast. Not strictly the Kindness Project.
Oh, yeah, because a lot of other stuff comes up. Fair enough. But if you'd like to find us, just put in failed attempt, www.thekindnessproject.co.uk, and on our website you can find all our social media links to every single one of our 211 now episodes of the Kindness Project.
Yeah, with all the show notes.
With all the show notes, all the guests, everything we've ever spoken about,
and every question.
And every question we've ever asked. You can even buy Kindness Project merch. You can do all that sort of stuff.
Do people buy Kindness Project?
No. All available. Not the point. All available on the website. All available on the website. I might buy myself another Kindness Project t-shirt.
Yeah, mine doesn't fit me anymore.
I might buy myself a Kindness Project polo shirt, so we can wear it on a live. We might do. I might do a series of lives coming up. So yeah, we'll give that a go. And on that note, let's move on with the show. And we've got amazing bit of kindness news. Every week we try and share some news. And this one's from the Good News Network. Teens build bus stop shelter for 5-year-old wheelchair user, protecting him from harsh weather. Teenagers have built a shelter for a 5-year-old boy who uses a wheelchair after noticing he got wet while waiting for the school bus in winter. 5-year-old Ryder Killiam has to battle rain, wind and snow for about 15 minutes every day, using only a patio umbrella as protection. But after hearing about his problem, local students in Bradford, Rhode Island, got to work and built him his own bus shelter for the bottom of his driveway during their construction lessons. Ryder's father, Tim, said Ryder uses it every day before school, and his nurses wait inside it every day while they're waiting to return home. I hope Ryder's in with the nurse as opposed to the nurse in the thing and Ryder outside.
No. The nurse waits in there while Ryder's getting off the bus, and then they go in the shelter, and then they go home.
Oh, is that the way it works?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He does like to hang out in it. Also, from time to time, is his fault as well. This project brought our community together a bit, brought our community together quite a bit. It showed that there is still much good in this world and town. And this is the entire concept behind the Kindness Project. The fact that most people, even though we get told that the world is cynical and downtrodden, actually the majority of the people in this world are capable of a great deal of good. So thank you to the guys at Ryder's school. Hopefully Ryder Killiam is enjoying it. The community of Bradford, Rhode Island, you should be immensely proud of yourself. Well done. And on that note, we've got another part of our interview with Robert Peterpaul, the last part 3.
Yeah. Russell's agreeing. It's definitely the last part. Thanks, Chief.
Russell, cheers, Edit. Chief, we appreciate your feedback. Russell, 2 thumbs up from the editor. Can you put your thumbs up again so I can screenshot it and put it as my screensaver?
All I need now is a big cigar and one of them floppy chins, don't I?
No, you got the floppy chin.
We just need to get him a t-shirt with Chief on the back.
I'm gonna get.
Like crew t-shirts.
Well, yeah. Should we get Russ a big t-shirt just going boss?
No, Chief.
Editor-in-chief.
No, just Chief.
Should we get him a trilby?
I'm just wondering how much it cost me to be emancipated from you.
Bit late for that, mate.
Nothing, because we're not actually related. No, we are. Clearly, we are.
Well, you're the Chinese millmen, apparently.
We didn't have a Chinese milkman.
We do now.
Okay, right. So it's the third part of the Robert Peterpaul interview. Enjoy. So tell us a little bit about where people find the podcast.
Yeah, so we're on every podcast network: Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google Podcasts. We're also on the Broadway Podcast Network, so you can go to their website or their app to find us. And we are just waiting. We're waiting for you to listen, and we're hoping we end every episode by trying to give an actionable kindness tip.
Love that.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so we're trying to give things that people can physically do. You know, whether it's like, well, when you see someone walking by you on the street, smile or say hello. Don't just
Yeah.
look down at your phone. Little things like that, just to try and spread kindness around. Because I do believe kindness happens in little acts, which then makes
Yes.
a larger
Yeah.
movement.
And again, that impact of that sort of small acts of just smiling and making somebody's day is, you know, it is going to have an impact. So, what's been your favourite tip to share? So, because you've done this for 6 months now, what's been your favourite tip?
Ooh. I'm running out, so if people want to submit any, no, I think my favorite tip to
Well,
share.
I'll tell you what we could do as a favour to Robert. We could have that as a question of the podcast, couldn't we? What's your favourite kindness tip? And then what we
Oh.
can do is share that with you, so you've got a few more to share. How's that sound?
That sounds awesome.
Right, done.
I will say I do. So I asked before I share the tip. After I do it after the celebrity interview, but I always end the interviews with celebrities. I have like my bookend questions that are usually the same, and so I'll ask them, do you have a kindness or wellness tip? And most of the time, even though I'll use it as an example, they're saying the smile one. So it'd be interesting to see if people also say to smile or say hello on your podcast as well.
Yeah.
But I love the specific ones. I've done some holiday ones, like specific to the holiday season recently, such as, you know, make sure you're overly friendly to the people at the cashier who are working these long hours. And for every gift you buy, you can donate a can of soup to your local food bank. Little things like that.
Love
So
that. Love
I
that.
try and keep them very actionable and not just an inspiring quote, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think my favourite at the minute, the one that springs to mind, is
Ooh.
just ask somebody how they are, or you know, particularly when we're all coming out of this situation where it's been a bit strange. My experience is that just saying "How are you" is quite powerful, because people do want to share. So, what's your kindness tip?
You stumped me there. I didn't know you were going to ask. I don't know.
Sophie, now Sophie is our trainee podcaster. Right?
Hi.
So Sophie's there. She's in from school.
How are you? Oh, I like your uniform.
Sophie, would you like to share a kindness tip? What would be your kindness tip? Is that a no?
It's hard to think of it, right?
Smile, but like
That's already been
it's
said.
already been said.
All right, we'll
We'll
think,
work on it.
We'll work on it. We'll think
No,
of some good ones and
I
come
think
back
that
to it.
works. I had a pro wrestler on. It was an awesome chat, Kofi Kingston, and his kids kept popping into the Zoom. It was really fun. And so I asked them, I said, do you have any kindness tips, or what does kindness mean to you? And his son, who was probably, I don't even know, 4 or 5, went right up to his microphone and just went, poop. And I thank you for laughing, because I'm so mature. I just started hysterically laughing, and
Yeah.
you know, I thought it was awesome. It
I
means
mean, clearly, if they don't, it's not particularly being kind to themselves. is
No,
it?
that's not.
Yeah. Anyway,
no,
Right.
yeah, we don't need to move.
Thank you so much.
Whoa.
Oh, go on. Have you got a question?
We've got questions.
Oh,
I
go on.
wanted. Okay, so I don't know if you've been doing it while I've not been on the podcast with you, the interviews with you, because
No, I haven't.
you haven't been asking our guests the questions.
No,
Disappointed in you.
no.
Oh, you might need to go back.
No. So we have what we used to do that I had forgotten about, that we
Yeah, you
used to do all
forgot
the
about.
time on the Kindness Project, is effectively ask some of our guests some of the questions we ask our listeners. Okay, so we've got a few of these to go with. If you could be a character from one of your favourite books, what one would you choose?
Oh, I was like, I am a character. I'm weird. From one of my favorite books. I mean, you know, and I'm talking to people in the UK. The obvious answer is Harry Potter, because I would love to be magical.
I think everyone would love to be magical.
Does everyone say Harry Potter?
No. We've had all different things.
Okay.
Sophie loves Harry Potter, so
Me too. Something magical.
You definitely say Harry Potter. We did a Harry Potter quiz the other day, and Charlotte, Sophie knew all of the pets for all of the Harry Potter characters.
Wow, that's impressive.
What's your favourite work of art?
Can I say the cow that's behind you guys?
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
We aren't on commission, by the way, but Stephen Brown art is available.
We don't get paid to advertise.
We aren't on commission, but Stephen Brown, if you'd like to sponsor the show, would you like to ask one?
Yeah, sure. Oh, it's considering it's Christmas coming up. What's your favourite Christmas? That's the fish. What's your favourite Christmas tradition?
Apart from the fish.
Apart from the fish.
Oh, well, can I? Okay, let me also add the love sculpture that's in New York City. That's a great piece of art.
Yes.
And Seurat's, Sunday in the park. And then I couldn't. The last part of your question got cut off. My favorite.
You know that love sculpture? There's one of those in Tokyo as well.
Oh.
Yeah, they're literally. I think I might have seen one in Amsterdam, but we saw one in Tokyo.
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah, but I can't remember what building it's outside in New York, but I've seen it. But yeah, that is amazing, isn't it?
Yes, I feel like I should add a real answer. Thank you for humoring me.
What's your favorite Christmas tradition?
Wow, we got the 7 fishes like we covered, but I think my favorite Christmas tradition is decorating the Christmas tree with some Christmas music and eating cookies. Obviously, it's so fun to hang up each ornament because they're each like little memories. So it takes you down a nice.
And what are you up to for Christmas this year, Robert? What are you doing?
Well, we're actually going to have a wild Christmas ride. We're going to my dad's mom, so my Nonna, my Italian grandma, for Christmas Eve, like we talked about. Christmas Day, we're going to my other grandma on my mom's side. I'm very lucky to have both. And we're going there for a brunch after we open up the presents. And this is all New Jersey. Then from there, we're going to go back to Connecticut to my fiance's grandparents' house. And then I think from there, we're going to my fiance's parents' house. So it's almost like 4 Christmases, like that movie.
Yeah. It's just, Christmas is about family, isn't it? It is about celebrating the time of the people you love. Would you like to ask one more question before we?
Are you doing anything fun? I feel like I should ask.
You want to ask? Save to ask a question. We're at home this year, aren't we? So I'm off to see my dad Christmas morning, which would be great fun.
Oh, that's nice.
Then we're off to Yorkshire this weekend because my friend and his wife had a baby during lockdown and couldn't do the christening because of COVID. And therefore we're off to we've got a family trip up to Sophie, Cassie and I are off to Yorkshire for the weekend.
That's so special. Yeah, the holidays are more special than ever because of that, because we were all locked down, right? And now we can see each other, which is great. You
know what? So this year I did the London Marathon, and awesome. one of the amazing things was there was a sort of, it felt like a pent-up enthusiasm for certain stuff this year, just because we haven't had the chance to do it.
There were so many Teletubbies.
We're already in Teletubbies faster than me.
Yes, several of them.
Yeah. The Teletubbies are doing some strange things these days.
I need to put that on my bio. Chris Dames, slower than a Teletubby.
And a man dressed as the Mona Lisa once.
Faster than me?
Yeah.
Chris Dames, Slam and Tinky Winky is my new motto. Right. Sophie,
I like
would you like to ask the question?
If you could live in any other country, where would you choose and why?
Oh, I'm coming to you guys. I studied abroad in London and I loved it. I could still. Oh, that's a good idea. Now you better watch that painting.
Yeah,
I might hop a flight.
Knowing Sophie, she'll sell it to you by the end of the week.
Well, you'll see me at night dressed in black, just hanging from the ceiling, holding it. You'll wake up to get a glass of water, and I'll say, "There's nothing to see here." Yeah.
And one more serious one, and I like this question. I forgot we asked this. what would you love to be remembered for?
Oh, that's such a good question. I think kindness is like you guys, it's such a great thing to be remembered for. I think every time I leave a room, I want people to be smiling and I want to try and make that room a little brighter if I can. So overall, I would just love to be remembered for being bright.
Love it.
Well, and bright in a smart way too would be nice, but I don't know about that.
Both.
Jury's out on that one.
Robert, thank you so much for your time today. I've loved chatting. I know Charlotte has as well.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Sorry for squeezing my hand for some reason.
Thank you so much for your time today. Have a lovely Christmas, and hopefully we'll interview you too. I'll be emailing the word that we can then mention about their podcasts.
I would love that. Yeah, I will definitely mention on mine when this one airs. And I thank you so much for having me. I love that you guys do this. I think it's such a special show. And I feel so thankful that I got to pop on for a little bit. So thank you and Merry Christmas.
And on that note, we've got another part of our interview with Robert Peterpaul, the last part 3.
Yeah. Russell's great. It's definitely the last part. Thanks, Chief.
Russell, cheers, Ed. Chief, we appreciate your feedback. Russell, 2 thumbs up from the editor. Can you put your thumbs up again so I can screenshot it and put it as my screensaver?
All I need now is a big cigar and one of them floppy chins, don't I?
No, you got the floppy chin.
We just need to get him a t-shirt with Chief on the back.
I'm gonna get.
Like crew t-shirts.
Well, yeah. Should we get Russ a big t-shirt just going boss?
No, Chief.
Editor-in-chief.
No, just Chief.
Should we get him a trilby?
I'm just wondering how much it cost me to be emancipated from you.
Bit late for that, mate.
Nothing, because we're not actually related. No, we are. Clearly, we are.
Well, you're the Chinese milkmans, apparently.
Would you never Chinese milkman?
We do now.
Okay, right. So it's the third part of the Robert Peterpaul interview. Enjoy. Anyway,
I'll do the end bit.
Do you want to do to the end?
Yeah, it's
Go on.
pass me the phone. Pass me the phone. Here's the end of another podcast, but the end is never truly the end, because the end is always the beginning of something entirely new, and there's something entirely new. It's actually not entirely new, because it's last week's question on the podcast, but they're the answers this time, so kind of new, I guess. And so the last week's question of the podcast was, what's your TV guilty pleasure? You love Married at First Sight Australia and Cobra Kai. Eve Keith said First Dates.
I love First Dates. First Dates is amazing.
But I wouldn't call it a guilty pleasure because
it's a good show.
It's a good show. Yeah. Andrew Berwick agrees with you about Cobra Kai and anything Marvel, but Squid Game was awesome too. Waiting for season 2. Yes, definitely. Sandra Collington said Lego Masters Australia. I haven't seen that.
I like the idea of. Russ is nodding. Have you seen Lego Masters Australia, Russ?
And Lego Masters, the Australian and the American edition, out of this world. I love a bit of Lego, and it just makes sense.
Yeah, that's what Kelly says when you try and give her a kiss, isn't it?
What?
Let go! Anyway,
Chief doesn't appreciate that.
Boss man, I'm going to get me P45 soon. I'm going to get a sack from my own podcast.
I watched an interesting documentary yesterday about Alexander Graham Bell.
Go on.
And the way he invented the telegram.
Right.
Well, I'm thinking of investing all my time, quitting all my jobs, and investing all my time in Slapper-Vision.
Right, so that's Slapper-Vision.
Next time we come on, I'll be able to go like this.
You do realise you just made a physical joke on a podcast, Russ. How's that going for you?
That's fine.
Slappy-Vision.
Slappy-Vision.
Yeah, sound like that. There's the audio version.
Right, so what you're saying is you're going to invest in the technology that allows somebody on a Zoom to slap somebody else.
That's right.
And you're talking about it on a podcast about kindness.
Well, you could slap somebody on the back. You could slap somebody on the
Give
shoulder.
him a nice friendly pat on the arm.
In this case, I was talking about slapping you around the bush, but
Well, that's not friendly, is it? Eh?
and
So,
in
so
the,
what? Sorry, what
in
else
the
would
bank
you
kind of
use?
way.
While Charlotte gets her act
I'm
together
ready to
again.
go. I'm waiting
What?
for you guys to finish with your brotherly
Genuinely,
dance.
genuinely, what else are you using slap-o-vision for?
Patting people on the back.
Right, so sorry, you're going to invent a technology that allows you to transmit whatever you want
Across
across
the
the
Zoom
screen,
handshake.
across the screen, just to slap somebody on the back.
Willy Wonka did. He said-
You are
he said-
Willy
Do you
Wonka.
need Wonka vision?
He sent the cowboy through the telly.
Mike TV.
My TV, that's right.
Save us from slap-o-vision, please.
Oh,
Save us from slap-o-vision.
okay. You two are going to make me lose the plot one day.
Today's that day. Do you want me to carry
No,
on?
I got it. Francis Barrett says Gogglebox. It's just people watching the telly. Deborah Myers says Dr. Pimple Popper.
I won't be watching that. Anything to do with bodies, I'm not gonna.
Good.
Yeah, anything. You could use slap-o-vision to pop their pimples, Russ, couldn't you? Pop-o-vision. Pop-o-vision. Oh God.
Yeah, do you know what? Do you know what that reminds me of? Andrew Welsford.
Yeah, nobody knows what that means, Russ, and I haven't got time to explain.
And
it,
also,
so,
you keep going
so
off on tangents.
we'll keep it.
Dad, I thought you were tired of talking.
I
No,
haven't time to talk. Carry on.
that's an inside job.
John Cook says Cobra Kai isn't a guilty pleasure, surely. It's quality. For me, Hollyoaks. Haley Ball says nothing wrong with Cobra Kai at all. Love it. Mine is Married at First Sight. Bloody awful, but I can't help myself. Sharon Adkins says Gogglebox forever. Mike Christie says Top Gear is a must. Emma Stevens yeah. Still Neighbours. I've watched it every episode since it started 36 years ago. It's my wind down when I get home from work. I used to sneak home from school at lunchtime to watch it. Steve Dan says Repair Shop. Love it.
Oh, I love Repair Shop. Repair Shop's amazing.
Nathan Fryer says, sorry, but the only way is Essex and Love Island.
No, no.
Sam Chilton says, Married at First Sight Australia, ditto, and Selling Sunset. David Forsdyke says, This Is Us. Oh, that's not
No, that's good. That's good.
Chris Zeeley said, mine is the classic Australian soap, Home and Away. Sarah Lou said, Married at First Sight Australia and Love Island Australia. Neighbours also. Patrick Floyd says, none. If you're embarrassed, don't watch it.
All right, Patrick.
Debbie Ball says, Gamora. Serena Vandermeulen Taylor. Did I get that right?
I hope so. Serena is actually has been a guest on our podcast because she does amazing work with a charity in Doncaster called the Hygiene Bank.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, all good.
I was trying to do it first time and I'm like, I don't know if I got it. Love Island and Married at First Sight. It's not the programme. It's the fact my daughter and I watched it together and gossip about it.
And you know what? There is an element of TV that is quite communal, isn't there?
Yeah. Alison Hagen says RuPaul's Drag Race UK and Canada version. Also love Sewing Bee and Pottery Throw. Serena Duffy says Cobra Kai never dies. Matthew Stryberg says The Cabins. Maria Bishop said Neighbours, Home and Away. David Bowley has to be Dragon's Den for me. Love it. Majida Birch said Towie all the way. Oh, and Dinner Date and First Date never disappoint. David Dennison said, Cobra Kai is not a guilty pleasure, Chris. It's just a pleasure. Mine's probably called a midwife.
Called a midwife. Oh, that'd be good in Slap-o-vision, Russ, wouldn't it? Slap the midwife.
I like calling the midwife.
Caroline Thompson says, definitely Married at First Sight Australia. I'm addicted. And Ian at Money Alive on Twitter said, Lola in kinky boots.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't know what question Ian's answered, but the answer is Lola in kinky boots. I think the question he's answering that we haven't even asked yet is what would you like in Slap-o-vision? And on that note, that is the end of another podcast. Russ, if you were here, I'd give you a kiss. a hug, then a slap. Have a
It's
lovely
me here
evening.
for a slap. We got a slap vision now.
Slap a vision. Have a lovely evening. Charlotte, I love you. You are here. I am going to give you a hug.
No.
And a kiss.
Physical affection.
And to all our listeners, thank you again for joining us. Have a lovely day, and we'll see you next time on the Kindness Project.
Toodles.